Explore, meet, create.
So, Teodora, you have a great guest with you today. So the stage is yours. I would like to invite you to present your guest, and then later on I will come back with some questions. So, Teodora, feel free to introduce your colleague.
Okay, so I have today invited Genoveva Christova, and she will give you an overview of what she's doing, because it's not one or two or three things. I mean, the life basically connects us. When I was also involved with bringing one international conference to Bulgaria, during the process of bringing this event to Bulgaria. And Genoveva, as she's the president of one of her roles, being a president of the Bulgarian furniture cluster, and at the time she was also the president of the Bulgarian Association of Clusters. So this kind of become a joint effort to host the TCI European Conference in Bulgaria. I have to say that this is extremely great chance, and this is showing the power of events and why we are making events and why we are trying to bring them in our destinations, because out of this conference and all the values for the associations and all the delegates, but out of this, Genoveva is become a real friend, and it's so many things we are doing together, and she's a pure inspiration. So I'm giving the floor to Genoveva, because I am sure she will inspire you as well.
Thank you very much, everyone. So good afternoon from Bulgaria, and thank you very much, Teddy, for your nice words. You're absolutely right. We are more than friends, we're family, and we're trying to fight all this together. So I'm really also, grateful to have the opportunity to speak at this very prestigious and honorable event. Gorazd, I was amazed how you presented Bulgaria, that because of Teodora and everything, what she's doing, and absolutely agree with you. I think Bulgaria now is becoming much more known place for events, and we are very happy to welcome all of you to come to us whenever it's possible, of course. And I would like just to show some hints what we are doing at the moment to make this possible. And I will be really, really happy if we can meet very soon in person. Just trying to, I think my slides are ready, right? Can you see my slides? I'm not so sure. So what you see at the moment, I'm sitting on top of, in the center of Sofia. It's a bit cloudy, so I hope to be sunny again. And it's in the center of Sofia. It's a creative hub. So we set up this creative hub about 2 years ago. And this is one of the newest event centers in Sofia. And we are trying with creativity really to show a different place where people, can just be creative, be free, and try to be innovative and turn their ideas into reality. But I would like to start this presentation with a quote from Winston Churchill. I know that there are not English people in the around, but we can still quote the greatest Churchill, who said, "Never waste a good crisis." And I think this crisis is a really big one. So let's not waste it, and let's try to make the most out of it, because I think the people who are brave enough and creative enough, they can be one of the, I can't say, the people who benefit, but the one who get better after the crisis, comparing to those who are just waiting, and to see what's going to happen. Because as Barbara said previously, before our session, I'm not sure that anybody can say what's going to happen, but at least we can try to be prepared and, as I said, to be creative in order to get the benefits out of it. So the next slide, can I see the next slide? Okay, it's here, right? So that's me. I'm not speaking too much about me, but getting creative. So, this pandemic and all these restrictions that happened, like on the 13th of March in Bulgaria, the hospitality industry, and the one I'm really working very intensively in, which is hotels and hospitality, of course, it's very related to the conference tourism and the tourism industry, suffer a lot because we just couldn't travel. And I'm really sorry that I didn't buy enough shares in Zoom, because now it's gone. So because you see, now we are in Zoom. So those who were smart enough to buy shares in Zoom, I think they really made a lot of profit. Anyway, we are happy because without these technologies, like Zoom, Google Meet, and all these platforms, we wouldn't be able even to do that, what we are doing now. So like 10 years ago, if the pandemic was 10 years ago, we would be really, really, we'll struggle a lot. So in this case, when we saw all this happening, what happened in my team, we met with the creative team and we said, okay, guys, what to do? I mean, let's not waste the crisis. Let's be one of the pioneers to fight this, presenting new solutions to the people and to the businesses we are working with. And this is how we got to V-Key, which is a UV, ultraviolet key, like the prototype you can see on the screen, which is being developed within this low touch economy concept, which means that in the hotels we are working with our partners, because as Teddy said, I'm working in the furniture, interior design and furniture for hotels and for many international groups like Hilton, Marriott, and Sheraton, etc. So we would like to make the guests safe in these hotels, introducing a low touch, solutions, like no touch solutions, even with the V-Key, which is a personal handle you operate in the room without touching the surfaces. And you feel safe and comfortable, especially for the most sensitive guests. And I can just give you just a hint that at the moment with Novotel in Sofia, we are introducing this technology. In other words, like the disabled rooms, every hotel needs to have a disabled room. With this technology, we're having I cannot say COVID room because it's not really good marketing-wise, COVID room, but safe. I mean, more safe room, more clean room for the sensitive guests. And this is the future, and we tried to lead this change in this direction within the Ligna Group and the company I'm leading. So this is one of the idea what we did in COVID. And back to the Gora's question about what Bulgaria is doing, how Bulgaria can welcome more guests for more venues and events. In Misia 23, remember the picture I showed you with my face on the terrace? So this is the terrace. In the good times, when was that? It was probably last autumn. Last autumn, 2019. But because it's open space, we were still able with low capacity to welcome guests. Of course, not in this environment and the picture as you see. But in Misia 23, we started to present different events. And this is our new project, 11+1, which is based on the creative industries, which are 11, from design and architecture to visual arts, gaming, movies, media, etc. And with these different industries, we presented different type of events in order to make possible for these industries to meet even in COVID. What I meant is we started with all type of events, like hybrid events or streaming platforms for, even we have a music concert in Misia 23 for California. So there was a California platform in US, which used us, and we did the streaming here. And some musicians, they were singing here in the space. We had a event like a fair, like tourism fair for hospitality and all hotels. They presented their facilities, and this online virtual fair was done exactly in our space. We've got some motivation speakers, some events who are presenting to different audience from the space. So we immediately invested in technologies and equipment in order to be able to do the streaming, to do all these technologies, like, for the music, it requires a lot of nice equipment for the sound engineering, sound equipment. So we did this immediately to respond to the demand, and many of our colleagues and many of the brands like big brands, L'Oreal and some Carrefour or Coca-Cola, Telenor, they did their events here because they feel safe and they have the right equipment. So this is exactly how we reacted to the crisis. Something else, and that's how it's one of the latest slides. And I know it's running late, and I need to keep you awake because it's nearly 5 o'clock here, 4 o'clock wherever you are in Central Europe. We with Ligna Studios, we even got so much deeper in the music industry that we are going to Eurovision 2021. So we've been 2020, but it was canceled. But 2021, we are behind the Bulgarian representative, which is Victoria on the picture, and we are going to present our country at Eurovision. Just a little remark about that. We were the only country who organized this summer, exactly in the pandemic in August, on our beautiful Black Sea, songwriting session where we met about 30 artists from all around Europe to write their songs in all, keeping all the requirements with the safety and everything. And they came. They were like, everybody were with, mask, very careful, like very, cautious about what's going to face here. And it was, I can assure you, 24 hours. After that, they feel so relaxed, they feel so free to do their music. And we were the only country who did it. Everybody else were working just remotely. And I know that all of you'll be absolutely, you just confirm what I want to say. What we are missing at the events is the networking. We are missing the social interactions because we can replace all this with different tools or these different technologies. But what technology cannot replace is the normal human being interaction. So we did it at the Eurovision songwriting contest. And by the way, yesterday, you see the article 19th of January, we got already 3 awards for the best online concert of one of the largest independent media for Eurovision. So from my point of view, the new normal requires us to be even more creative than ever, to think ahead, to think unorthodox, and there are many ways that we can do it right. So with this, I'm finishing, and I hope that, there are about 100 of you, you can vote for Bulgaria at Eurovision 21. So thank you very much for your attention.
Wow, what a presentation. I totally agree with you about creativity. But I have one more question for Theodora, because you both work in this cluster environment. Don't you believe that the clusters are actually also convention bureaus? What do you feel about it? In my personal opinion, and I must mention this, we started here in Slovenia with the convention bureau as a cluster. That was one of the first Slovenian clusters. Theodora, can you comment this a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the convention bureau, the cluster actually is a membership organization that is bringing the members, they have a common goals, and it's so the convention bureau joining the different members who are connecting, and basically everyone is adding the value to the other company. Even they are sometimes competitors, the common goal is, and they are driven by the common goal. So to reach their goal, it's much more than they are having the competition. So, and when basically I wanted to say something when you started the presentation, for me, which were really kind words, but like in clusters, this is not the success. It's a property of the network. It's not a property of one single person. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly the same for the convention bureaus. In order to make your destination known, in order to bring an event in your destination, in order the event to be a memorable event, this is a success of the network. And that's why we all should be together. And what we have done last year is that we really become more together. Though we've been apart from each other, mm-hmm. we got closer. We had time to be closer to our colleagues, to the government, speaking closer, mm-hmm. to understand more our clients. So this was the success. And if we are doing that, we will make it, we will go, it's even where we haven't been predicted.
As a big fan of Bulgaria, you know that. Just a simple question, as to Igor before, do you have restaurants open, hotels open, or everything is closed like here in Slovenia?
Yes, we have the hotels are open. Actually, the hotels never closed. So the hotels are open. The restaurants are currently closed. Only the restaurants which are in the hotels, they are open, and they have limitations for the time they can operate. Especially this was considered a lot, not only for the city hotels, but for the ski resorts at the moment, as the ski season, it's open. There are many restrictions, but still, those skiing are welcome to come to Bulgaria for skiing at the moment.